Fire pits have become quite popular these days. It's a great place to sit outside and enjoy the great outdoors with your friends. But you don't have to actually go and get somebody to come in and do something majorly constructive. In fact, you can put one together in a weekend by yourself. But to talk us through the whole thing of fire pits, we've got somebody who knows a lot about them and is a master at making them. Of course, Craig, thanks for coming and joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Craig, why do you think that fire pits have become so popular?
Africa is about sunsets and fires. So there's nothing better than getting home, relaxing around your pool with a nice fire. And the fire is something that you can also cook meat on, or you could even roast marshmallows. So it's one of those things that really is great if you have a home rather than a house that you want to spend time in rather than spend time in a shopping centre, relax around your house, and it's an awesome feature to have.
So what are the basic things that you would look at when you want to create one yourself, or if you're going to go and install one, for instance?
So ultimately you're going to want to build the fire pit in an area which hasn't got anything that is too flammable in the vicinity, thatch roofs and that type of thing that could play havoc with your insurance policies. But otherwise, it's got to be in an area that is ideally out in the garden, that pulls you away from the house. Otherwise, you're not really going to be enjoying the garden experience. It's more of a house experience, which is like sitting on a patio. Another important thing that people often forget about is drainage. You ideally need to have drainage down into the soil, just for when there is rain, that you don't end up with stagnant water. And also, if you have it on a slope, ideally you can pipe the water out from the pit to somewhere beyond the borders of your property or into a flower bed, just so that you don't get stagnant water. There's not a lot of water that'll go in there. Or if you want to rinse it out, you want to wash out the fire pit, then at least you can do that.
I know you've come up with some pretty interesting fire pits yourself.
Yeah, well, a fire pit is essentially anything that can carry the fire. So you could build it into the ground, you can have raised fire pits, you can repurpose or recycle things like old wheelbarrows, old pots, plant pots, even a 44-gallon steel drum you could use and make something that's reasonably decorative without spending any money or spending very little money.
What would be the first thing that we're going to do? Because we're standing in the spot now where we're thinking, okay, this would be a great place for a fire pit. Reason why?
Well, it's got a nice view down of the property, so it's got quite a commanding view. It's close to the deck area, which has got some seating on it, and it's under a tree, which will give some nice shade. So we have to be wary of the roots of the tree, that we don't build it too close to the tree that we interfere or damage the roots. But at the same time, it's got to be close enough that you can take advantage of the shade from the tree. And in this case, we're not going to be building a concrete floor, so we're just going to allow for the water to drain. Rainwater mainly just drain into the soil, so that keeps it kind of simple. There's less fuss and less mess.
Okay, so the first thing is level off the ground, take the grass out, place it, dig down, put bricks in, fire bricks, of course, not your ordinary concrete bricks because they won't handle the fire.
Yep.
You can get fire bricks, of course, as well.
Yep.
And then place the rings back, and then we're going to be doing some paving around the outside.
Yep.
So we've got a nice little hole here, it's too deep, and because what we're doing is we're just putting the bricks in first, aren't we?
Yep. So the bricks are going to basically keep the circle in place. You don't have to worry too much about having gaps in between the bricks. It's more serves the purpose of just keeping the ring in place.
And of course, so that you've got a nice permeable surface.
Yeah, so there'll be good drainage for water when it rains, or if you decide to give it a bit of a rinse.
Yes, and then of course you build your fire on it, and that's
Yep.
why we have fire bricks.
That's it.
Okay, so where are we going to start?
Let's start in the middle. Hopefully we'll get to
the centre, Mr. Kenter.
get to the edge without too many gaps. Just replicate the pattern on both sides, and then do that for the top as well.
Like that one. And then of course whichever little gaps we've got we can just fill up with gravel.
Yeah, because the gaps really aren't a problem, as the rings will sit quite easily on top of the bricks.
Okay. And we should be able to fit these just on top like this, and we don't need to really... Should we fill this up with a bit of gravel beforehand, or just leave it as it is?
We'll just leave it as it is.
Okay.
It's not going to be a problem. Let's see if it fits.
Or put some soil in there at least. Hold it all together.
Can, yes.
All right, let's do that. Just in case, you know. Fantastico. Right, so now it's just the rings.
All right. Let's see if
Okay, there, that fits like a glove. Now, next step, of course, we want to make this look aesthetically pleasing, so we're just going to take all of this area around here and straighten it out, make it nice and level, and then put some pavers down and some gravel, and that's how easy it is.
That's it.
Okay, now the hard work begins. Right, so what you've got to do, of course, is put weed guard down whenever you're doing any kind of paving. Obviously, with this being a circle, it's going to be a cutting exercise. So let's just pop some pavers in here, and then we can cut that. Just so we overlap it there. You've got it over all the way. You got?
Got it.
Yep. The last one. There we go.
That's it.
Now all we're going to do is, because we made it easy on ourselves by putting all of this down to hold the weed guard, cut all the weed guard away and then fill it up with gravel, and there we're done. Fantastic.